regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. And of course, a special warm welcome to all of you tuning into the pod, the iHypnosis life coaching journeys. This is, of course, a pod that has been curated just for you. We make it a point to search out the length and breadth of our wonderful country, and we find truly amazing healers and coaches, people who are already on the journey, people who maybe began around the time that you did, or maybe even before, and they are at a point where they are, wanting to share their story, and you get to hear their story. You get to be inspired by their stories, and just realize that there's a reason why you're hearing them, and that this is designed to move the needle for you as well, just to remind you that you're not here by accident, that you're literally meant to be here. And I have a really amazing guest today who will be the epitome of this. As you hear her story, I'm sure it'll open up a lot of and unlock a lot of potential within you as well. So with that, let's put our hands together and welcome Deirdre. So Deirdre, this is your cue. Good to have you on. Really looking forward to hearing more about your story. But before we do that, warm welcome and thank you for being on the iHypnosis Life coaching journeys.
It's an honor to be here, Rahul. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm sure I'm really excited to share a lot. So, with the sole
Nice.
purpose that I want to reach out to people. So, thank you
Yes,
so much for inviting me.
my pleasure.
I'm honored.
And yeah, and like I said, I'm sure there'll be a lot of stories to unpack, but maybe we'll start at the top. So typically, when someone asks that $1 million question, so what do you do? What's your answer?
So, if you ask me what I do, why I do it,
Mm-hmm.
um, I love helping people.
Mm,
That's what I began with in the
mm,
first place. I learned that from my dad
mm,
because he used to go all out of his comfort zone during
mm,
his off days and help people, and that has
mm,
rubbed on, fortunately. So
mm.
I take it as a privilege to learn that from my dad. And
Right.
sometimes people tell me don't help so much, but I just ignore that
Mm,
comment because I don't think that's helping. We
mm,
need people more like us, you and me,
mm,
and all of us coaches, to help
mm,
people get better at what they can actually do to reach
mm,
their potential. So it takes a lot of us to get the entire world on one in the world, in the globe itself, because
mm,
everyone's scattered with today's technology. I don't think people are actually communicating with each other. So there it
mm.
is. I'm a communication coach and I love doing what I'm doing.
Amazing.
What brings me to do that is because I have seen people always on their phones, devices, and they
Mm,
don't really communicate with each other. And speaking is becoming a lost. People
mm,
have lost their voices because they don't really communicate with each other. Their
mm,
world is all on their phone.
mm.
So, with that being said, that's the reason why I have become a communication coach. It's just
Nice.
the journey to connect people. It relates everything. It's to do with relationships. Why we are
Mm,
having broken relationships? Because we
mm,
don't communicate.
mm,
Why do we feel upset and low in our office spaces? Because we don't feel it comfortable to
mm,
communicate, or we don't empower ourselves to communicate.
mm.
So that's the journey that I'm on, to help people reach their full potential through communication and own their voice. It's
Nice.
as easy as that. Thank
Amazing.
you.
So I every time I ask this question, and what better time than to mention it today? Like, you're our 80th guest.
Wow,
So, so
that's
kudos to
nice.
all of us, you for
Yes, of
being here,
course.
and us for
Yes, it's a milestone in itself.
for
Congratulations to
persevering.
you
Thank you
and
so
your
much.
journey and the
Yes.
people that you have inspired through the 79 and now 80th
And now the
episode.
80th, right?
Yes.
So the reason also why I bring that up is, every time I ask this question,
Mm-hmm.
um, I love the way people approach the question. because to me it says a lot about where they are. It says a lot about that journey that they've already been on to get to this point where they're able to answer it. And there's a lot of passion that I hear. There's a lot of empathy. There's a lot of like that question we say, what is it? WDYW, right? What do you? Why do you do what you do,
Why do
right?
what you do? Absolutely.
So or WYD, right? So why do you do what you do?
Right.
And I'm curious, and I'm really looking forward to hearing you unpack this for us. Like what you're doing today didn't obviously happen overnight. It's
Not
been
at
a
all.
journey to get here,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I'm also looking forward to hearing your story because I know that when people hear your story, they will be reminded that each of us is special, and
Absolutely.
every story is like building into that anthology of the book of our lives, so that we are
Yes.
able to inspire other people. We are able to, instead of talking at them, we just show up and people say, you know what, if you can do it, so can I. So with
Absolutely.
that, Deirdre, uh,
Yes.
since you talked about communication and
Yes.
coaching people,
Yes.
take us back in time, if you will. So it's sort of
Yes.
like what we
Sure.
call the hero's journey, right? In a sense. So take us back to what were some of those earliest adventures that you were called to, which eventually led you to where you are today, and what you do, as you do today.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So I've never been this way before. I was
Mm.
always a shy
Mm-hmm.
backbencher in school.
Uh-huh.
Many people fail to understand that it's a journey,
Mm.
and I have been on it myself, and that's
Mm.
why I'm looking out for people who are like a decade away from me where I'm right now, so that they can
Mm.
also,
Mm.
come on this journey, just
Mm.
start it. It's
Mm.
only when you start it will you reach the
Mm.
end, right? So
Mm.
going back a decade ago, of course, school days I was very shy, I wouldn't participate. I had a beautiful teacher
Mm.
in school. I was in a girls' school, a convent
Mm.
school, and
Mm.
this teacher, I don't know what she seen in me. There was some kind of a spark probably at that time, which
Mm.
I didn't see, but she saw it. And she encouraged me to speak on stage. She empowered
Nice.
me with, we have this annual day in school, right?
Mm.
So she
Mm.
gave me the lead role, and I was like, why? I felt it like a punishment at that time because I wasn't how I am right now.
Mm.
I have been a very introvert person. So because of my nature, I was wondering why. Why is she I
Mm.
thought of it as a punishment, but that opened a new door. Like a
Mm.
stage performance. I was in eighth grade that time, and a stage
Mm.
performance, and that too, I was a lead role. It was about a drug abuse, and I was the
Wow.
lead role in that, and I was shivering and stomach was griping, butterflies,
Mm.
and yeah, finally the performance happened. And just
Mm.
before the curtains opened, she trusted me, and I didn't want to let go of her trust. And she told me just one thing:
Mm.
do you believe in yourself? So
Mm.
I said, if you believe in me, I believe in myself.
Mm.
And that was the beginning, like, the page A, the first page of
Right.
my book. Is
Mm.
really long ago, but that's how it started. And in college also, I was not much of a backbencher. I graduated to sitting in the middle.
Mm.
And there was a turning point in my life where my work
Mm.
was taken by another person, and that person took credit for my work,
Mm.
and I was shattered. And that's the day I decided no one is going to take credit for my work.
Mm.
And I left that job, of course, because I was completely depressed. Got another job quite instantly, and
Mm.
she used my biodata, she used my credentials, and
Wow.
it's really sad that that happened, but I don't want anyone to face that again. So I'm just here to empower people
Mm.
uh, to speak for themselves.
Mm.
Everyone does the work, right? We're all trained technically to do our jobs
Correct.
perfectly well, but
Mm.
we need to stand up for what we believe.
Mm.
And that's what has brought me to this beautiful awakening. And
Mm.
I'm here to empower the rest of the working professionals, especially, that
Mm.
don't let people walk over you.
Mm.
Stand up for yourself, speak out that yes, this is the work. If you have done it, what's the shame in speaking about it, right? So
Correct.
just empowering people.
mm,
And before I could come to this point, I was wondering what should I help people with, and I'm IELTS certified. IELTS is an international English language exam,
mm,
so I'm IELTS certified. So for the past 5 years, I have been tutoring students to go
mm,
abroad through the IELTS exam, and have done it really well. But what I have observed is that they are not. So there's this one part. It's a small category of the speaking.
mm,
So there are four categories, out of which one is a speaking test, and in that the second part is a cue card round. In that, the students have faced a lot of challenges because they have
mm,
to speak for an entire 2 minutes. It's like a
mm.
monologue. So they're given a topic. It's like a
Right.
describing situation, and they have to use like words or describing words and stuff. And the time limit is 2 minutes.
Mm,
And you won't believe it, most of the students initially when they come to me, they're not able to speak for even a minute. And they're like, "Man, we're done. 2 minutes are up." I said, "No. 2 minutes when you're actually, just communicating one way, like a monologue, it
mm.
feels like forever."
Correct.
And
True.
that's when I realized, yes, people actually need help to talk.
Mm,
Conversation starters, they don't, people are sitting on unknown people. The best way to learn to communicate is
mm,
speak to random people, just
mm,
go break that barrier, that fear of the
mm,
unknown, is when you speak to unknown people, because
mm,
they don't judge you. You'll never really see them again,
mm,
fortunately or unfortunately. So,
mm,
whenever I travel, I do not use my phone. I just speak to random people. I observe
mm,
them first, and I just speak to random people. And
mm,
I think that has brought many smiles to my face as well as theirs most of the times.
mm.
So, yes, that's my backstory. And
Nice.
now I empower, especially
Mm,
working professionals,
mm,
to speak for their work so
mm,
that they will be able, no one can use, like walk over them.
mm.
So that's
Nice.
my. I have
Yeah.
done that wherever I've worked. I
Mm,
have worked in a school also, and there also I
mm.
used to help the teachers, voice out their opinion.
Right.
I think that's very important.
Mm,
It's not yes boss anymore.
mm. True.
It's I appreciate what you say, but this is what I have to say as well.
Mm.
So sharing your own opinion is very important.
Ah,
So yes, I
beautiful.
rest my case.
Nice. So you've given us a beautiful, like a snapshot of the last, length of time that you've
Yes.
traveled to get here. Now that you've heard your own story, what do you feel drawn to? Maybe kind of like, nowadays they use this expression to double click on it, meaning that amongst the the several stories that you reflected on with us in brief, what story do you feel drawn to kind of go a little deeper into? And now with the, yeah, right, with the
Very
power of
interesting question.
hindsight, uh,
Very
what's
interesting
coming up
question.
for you?
Very interesting question. Actually, I've done this after a very long time,
Mm,
reflecting on
mm,
what brought me to what I am today.
correct.
Um, I would really take the time that this teacher of mine, I would like to name her.
Mm,
She's Jatana Miss. That
mm,
was way back in the, like really way back. I wouldn't want to
mm,
mention it, but I really appreciate the effort that she took, the
mm,
belief that she had. It's just a matter of believing in another person. And
correct.
she helped me believe in myself.
Mm,
And had it not been for her, I think I would have just allowed all the other instances to just happen to me,
mm,
like the episode I had at work. I would just allow it to happen. Yeah, okay, it's a
mm,
part of how it's supposed to be. Like
mm,
many of the people around me say, no, no, it's okay. This is office politics, and on the name of office politics, to just
mm,
allow everything to just happen around them, which
mm,
I don't think should actually be that
mm,
way.
mm,
Everyone has their own voice and their own opinion, and it's
mm,
your choice. It's just a matter
correct.
of making that choice.
Mm,
So I would owe what I am today
mm,
to my teacher, my
mm,
guru, my first so-called awakening
mm,
spot or point, focal point. She was a
mm,
focal point in my life, and wherever she is, I always
mm,
pray that she's always enjoying good health. and
Mm.
we need more teachers
Correct.
like her who
Mm.
trust and who develop this
Mm.
self trust, self belief,
Mm.
this kind of thing, because self doubt is, it just comes, but the self trust and self belief in another person, it
Mm.
has changed my life. So yes, I
Right.
acknowledge all this, and I really thank her for being a
Mm.
part. She was my class teacher actually,
Mm.
and
Nice.
she was not really a favorite among everyone. Biology, she teaches
Mm.
biology, and biology
Okay.
was my favorite subject.
Mm.
So I did fancy her a lot. But what she did beyond teaching the subject was
Mm.
something. Teachers teach and they go away, but
Right.
she really, showed me the mirror, and she trusted me, and
Right.
that helped me trust myself. So I want to
Mm.
offer that safe space to people, where
Right.
I trust people, and
Mm.
I help them trust themselves.
Mm.
Self trust
Nice.
and self belief
Mm.
is something that I learned from Miss
True.
Deadra. So, yes,
Beautiful.
God bless
Beautiful.
her.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if we sort of, wind the clock forward from that one, that first moment in your life, do you recall the moment when you were talking about this incident that happened at office, when you decided, you were like, yeah, that feeling that you had, like you were like, okay,
I can
you
feel
know,
it yet. I can
mm.
still feel that. Yeah,
So
yeah,
walk us through that, like it's happening, and then there's something that clicks because, like you said, most people around you, a lot of people around you said, "Oh, it's okay, it's office politics," and
absolutely.
who knows, maybe you'd have gone a different path at that point. Like just like
Absolutely.
your teacher, your class teacher, bio teacher, Mr.
Yes.
Tanashi,
Yes.
she showed up at the right time, gave you this
Yes.
opportunity, and you stepped up and
Yes.
you took it, right, in spite
Yes.
of everything,
Yes.
to this moment where you talked about how you could have gone the route where probably the people who told you had also done it themselves, saying that, oh,
Probably.
it's okay.
Yes.
Could have been a boss, could have been a a colleague who sort of like took, was shining in their feathers, so to speak, right? It wasn't so
Yes.
much as borrowed as much as but
Correct.
in your case, something made you choose differently. Like walk us through
Yes.
that, like because this is how character building happens, right?
Absolutely.
So what was that like for you?
Well, I am glad that I took that decision. Yes, I did have a choice, as you rightly pointed out. I
Mm,
had a choice to stay back because at the end of the day, all of us do it for money, right?
correct.
I had EMIs to pay at that point in time, and
Correct.
it did bother me that yes,
Mm,
the bill will come. The money will not come because
mm,
I will resign, but the bill
correct.
will come at the end of the month, So, yes,
Mm,
that was at the back of my mind. But I felt that if I didn't do that, somebody
mm,
else would do the same thing, and it would
mm,
be a recurring thing which I was
mm,
not comfortable with.
mm,
And at that point in time, I thought I have helped so many people. In
mm,
college also, I had a lot of students, I mean, my friends actually, who were from
mm,
vernacular background, and they would
mm,
sit in class not knowing what's happening because
mm,
they have studied in Marathi medium or,
mm,
especially Marathi medium. I had three friends, and out of which one was very, very ambitious. So she would be like, Deidra, I am not able to understand what's happening. So uh, being the person I am, I used to go early. So both
mm.
of us used to go 1 hour before college. So college would start
Right.
at 8:15. We would be there at 7.
Wow.
We would sit, behind the college campus,
Mm,
and I would run her through whatever happened,
mm,
like a gist of it. Obviously, I was not
correct.
a lecturer at that point in time. I
Mm,
was like
mm,
her, right? Doing college together. So it
mm,
would be a revision for me,
mm,
and it would be an inspiration for her because she would not understand most of the things, and
correct.
eventually
Mm,
today she is still my very best friend. She has taken up a marketing job, and she says that I should actually give you some percentage of my salary because if it wasn't for you, probably I would not have been a good
right.
marketing person. And
Mm,
so uh, it's just that the decisions we take in
mm,
our life,
mm,
we need to owe responsibility
sure.
for our decisions. And at that point, yes, I did have an option of listening to my other colleagues, and that would have been a
Mm,
comfortable zone for me. That
correct.
okay, I do the work as long as I'm getting paid for the 8 hours that I'm working or the 9 hours that I'm working.
Mm,
It's fine. I could have just let it go, but I
mm,
chose to no. I
Correct.
will not do that because I was struggling with continuing. In fact, I didn't even
Mm,
serve my notice period because I thought that a no is a no, and I stood my ground. I don't know what
mm,
got into me. It was just, I think it was not aligning with me what happened.
mm,
And
mm.
I spoke to her also about it,
Okay.
which I was amazed that I did it. I would never have otherwise because I
Mm,
was quite a people pleaser. And I used to feel, no, I don't want to hurt anyone. But I actually walked up to her and we used to share the same cabin.
wow.
And that's why she had most of my documents, the work. We used to share a lot of space, office space together. So she
Correct.
had access to everything. And unfortunately, she also had actually she had two options. She could have used my documents or she could have made her own.
Mm,
She chose to use my documents during
mm.
the appraisal, and of course, she got a thirty
Right.
percent hike. And since I went after her, when I told the boss, I didn't know what she did. So when I told the boss, she's like, "But she did these things. You're just telling me what she did." I'm like, "Oh well, did she? Okay."
Mm,
But this is the truth, and I don't know whether you will believe me, but you can ask me anything about the project. So he called both of us together and he asked both of us questions, which is a wise thing that he did, and I respected the
mm.
man for that. And obviously, she wasn't able to answer because I was the one who did it, right?
Correct.
So then HR called us and we
Mm,
went through a whole session. And I told HR, I said, see, what happened is not accepted.
mm,
And I'm sure you would understand why I'm putting in my papers because I don't
mm,
want somebody else to probably, I have learned a lesson after burning my fingers, but I ensure that I will not do it in the next organization that I join.
mm,
So, yeah. And I was allowed to just serve 10 days notice period and I left.
mm.
They tried transferring me to another branch
Right.
and I was like, no. Once
Mm,
I say a no is a no, because
mm.
a no is a statement, right?
Right.
So I just stood by it
Mm,
and I
mm,
was ready to. My husband wasn't really happy about it.
mm.
But I think gradually he understood because I
Yeah.
used to be a little upset.
Mm,
And once I put in my papers and once I was at home, I was more happy.
mm.
And I explained to him, don't worry, I'll get another job and things will be fine. And within a week, I got another job, of course. But I learned from that. See,
Correct.
I think there's an option that you have. You either
Mm,
learn from it or you guide
mm.
others.
Correct.
So I learned from it, and now I'm guiding others.
Mm. Nice.
So I'm
Nice.
doing both. I've learned from it. So
Mm.
I've been there, done that,
Correct.
uh, picked myself up,
Mm.
trusted myself, got another job, which was, of course, much better than the one I had,
Mm.
which also made a difference because
Right.
now I was in a different
Mm.
space. My
True.
body language was different. My
True.
voice had a different flow,
Mm.
a different confidence,
Mm.
and and now I knew what I had to watch out for.
Right.
So yeah, I
Mm.
did well in
Beautiful.
the second place.
Beautiful. Amazing.
So I think I've tried to sum up everything, but
Yeah, yeah. Of
I
course.
hope I hope I have done justice to the
Yeah.
situation. I
I'm
think I
sure.
have.
I'm sure other people also who are going through this
Yes,
now,
yes,
like you
yes, there
said,
are a lot.
your
Yeah,
audience is, from what I've understood, your audience is people who have, who are employees, but who are looking at communication and
yes,
wanting to, be better
yes,
in their
yes,
work roles that they play.
yes,
So I'm sure they will relate to this. Either they themselves have gone through it or they know someone who has gone through it.
absolutely.
Walk us through between then and now, like what was that next major turning point in your life? Because, like you said, further on, at some point, you've also worked with schools. I think you mentioned schools that you've
Yes,
assisted them
yes,
in a
yes,
communication context. But what was that one? So let me ask you like this: how how close to or further away from COVID was this? Because typically, 2020 was pretty much a sort of a landmark
yes,
moment for most people. Either they became realized that they meant to become coaches, or maybe they pivoted from what they were doing before. So I'm curious also to know and to hear your story of how such a
yes,
you know like an event at a global scale, how what the ripples were in your life.
yes. So yes, it does take me back to post-COVID. In fact, pre-COVID, I went through the IELTS course, and
mm,
I added that feather to my hat as well.
mm, mm,
So I thought that yes, I will be able to empower students to go
mm,
abroad, and
mm,
that will be, a turning point for them. It's a
mm,
milestone for them. So let's do that.
mm,
That happened before COVID, and
mm,
after COVID, mm, I didn't have that many students at that point
mm,
in time, and I just happened to apply to a school as an English teacher,
mm,
and I got it because of my IELTS credibility. I got
mm,
through an IG school,
mm,
and I was teaching there. I was teaching primary school English.
mm,
What I realized is whatever was being poured down on the teachers,
mm,
was just supposed to be digested,
mm,
and work, the admin work,
mm,
the accounts work,
mm,
was just being poured on teachers, and I was not ready to accept that.
mm,
We were told to use AI, as to use AI, I mean unnecessarily, without
mm,
using our brain, and
mm,
I said no, I will not. I will use my brain.
mm,
I will teach the children how to use their brain, and then probably check, what AI has to say about what
mm,
they are, like just polish it a bit.
mm.
Not stop using your brain, which is God's
Right.
gift to us,
Mm,
right? And only use AI. In fact, I have
mm,
observed nowadays everyone's just using
mm,
AI without even thinking for a
mm,
moment. And
mm,
I think along with our losing our speech or our
mm,
ability to speak, we are going to eventually lose our ability to think,
mm,
which is a really sad thing. So
mm,
I refused to use AI to get my papers, question papers sorted out.
mm,
I just refused. I said, no, I will not.
mm,
When I have a brain, I will use it.
mm,
So I went against the head of the authority. So
mm,
I don't think I was a favorite at that time. So yes, I was kind of a revolutionary, I think, in the school.
mm,
But the teachers would come to me and they would share their concerns,
mm,
and I, the good Samaritan, would try and speak to the
mm,
the coordinator, and now since I have left, the teachers are missing me, and
mm,
I think my job there is done because they need to take up and speak for
mm.
themselves, because I
Right.
have been doing that for the 2 years that I worked there
Mm,
as an
mm,
English teacher. I have not really worried about what will people think, but
mm,
I have tried to stand up for what is right, and I have no shame in that. I am proud of
mm,
what I did,
mm.
and yes, I did put in my papers because I'm not going to allow AI
Mhm.
take the
Mm.
credit for and not use my brain. Sorry, that's not
Right.
me.
Right.
That's I have never accepted anything
Mm.
that I am not aligned with. And
Right.
that's what I stand by. And I
Mm.
empower my students also
Right.
to align, whatever they do, it should
Mm.
align with them. Because
Mm.
if you do the work that you're aligned with, you don't work a day.
Right.
It's because you're so in sync with what you're doing. Your
Mm.
body also is happy and
Mm.
everything goes well. There's no space for negative thoughts. And
Mm.
you also speak with yourself. So, what do you speak with yourself, or what are the
Mm.
conversations you have with yourself when you're alone? Is what matters, and
Mm.
what comes out when you're with people.
Right.
So, just a small lesson that I want, or a small, what you say, a small nugget, a golden
Mm.
nugget, that watch what you tell yourself when you're
Mm.
alone.
Right.
Those conversations are more meaningful than the ones you have with others,
Mm.
because self trust, self belief, positive affirmations, all these
Right.
are all
Mm.
the things that you tell yourself when you're alone.
Mm. Mm.
Don't be hard on yourself. This is what I tell
Mm.
everyone. So,
Right. Nice.
yes,
Beautiful. So let's
thank you.
sort of let's take this chapter that you're talking about now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you at one point you worked, in the company context, then you move more into the aisles, then from there, post COVID, you worked for a period of
School.
time in schools. So if you look at it, and especially now, we are like 5 years. So if you take, even 2020 was quite active in terms of
Yes.
coaching as an industry, right? Like
Yes.
there's a surge in the awareness of this
Yes.
webinars and
Absolutely.
coaches and funnels and
Right.
healing, different modalities. This sort of like started to become more common, not not to the 95%. I'm talking about 5% of us who are today. Like in our world, it feels like everybody's into coaching,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But if we zoom out for a second, quite often if we check in with our friends and family, most of them are not really aware of coaching as such, right? It's still in its sort of
Correct.
like early phase. But
Yes.
my question is, um, when you now look at the avatar that you stepped into, right? Tell us a little bit about that, and also, where are you on the journey as far as, let's say, when we talk about funnels, we talk about funnels, we talk about community, like these are sort of like the new age expression of. So it's not just about products. Today we're talking about building a community. We're talking about building a funnel so that you're able to help people deeper and deeper into their journey, right? So
Yes.
give us a sense of where you've reached at this point, Deirdre.
So, when it comes to traditional coaching methods,
Hmm.
I don't do webinars.
Hmm.
I do a 3 day speaking course.
Hmm.
That is to give them insight of who is their real enemy,
Hmm.
and that narrows down their so-called self-doubt,
Hmm.
and it gives them, an insight into what should be their communication roadmap.
Hmm.
So I help them build their own communication roadmap in the first 3 days
Hmm.
itself,
Nice.
during my 3 days workshop.
Hmm.
And if they want to continue their journey with me, I have a 3 months course, which
Hmm.
is a very, I mean, it's an implementation course
Hmm.
based on 12 different aspects of communication,
Hmm.
including one theme will be probably the art of listening, which is
Hmm.
actually underrated.
Hmm.
So listening is a very important skill, and unfortunately we don't really prioritize it in our
Hmm.
communication. So one of it is that. One of
Hmm.
it is, of course, building your roadmap. There are two elements of speaking that I also take my entire class through,
Hmm.
and this is a group uh, live session.
Hmm.
It happens on Zoom, and of course, I do a one-to-one session also with people, typically CEOs and
Hmm.
high-level professionals
Nice.
who do not want, a group forum.
Hmm. Hmm.
I do one-on-ones with them, and then it's a more personal thing in terms of individuality. So everyone's unique, and probably they want a little more detailed, a detailed roadmap or
Hmm.
a hand-holding kind of a thing where
Hmm.
the CEOs and get. I have worked with a couple of CEOs as well, and business heads.
Hmm.
So um, they think they are very good communicators, but
Hmm.
sometimes when I speak with them
Hmm.
and I highlight where they need to pay attention to, and I pinpoint exactly where they probably have an issue with because of
Hmm.
the experience that I
Hmm.
have with dealing with my subject.
Right.
And they're amazed. They're like, yes, I do have a listening problem. And then it's like a mirror, right? Mirror,
Hmm.
mirror on the wall, where's the fault? And yes, then they, of course, they enroll, and those sessions are as per their convenience.
Hmm.
That's around 4 to 5 sessions a month, and I
Hmm.
think most of them are good to go after a month
Hmm.
with me. So that's a one-on-one. So
Nice.
these are the three offerings that I have when it
Hmm.
comes to speaking communication.
Nice.
And yes, this is, I'm also getting students, like in colleges. There's a college,
Hmm.
they have approached me, the principal has approached me, and they're looking at empowering their students. So
Nice.
yes, why not? See,
Hmm.
my intention is to help people communicate. whether
Correct.
it's the students or it's working professionals. Of
Mm.
course, we have to deal with students differently. But since
Correct.
I've been a teacher,
Mm.
that is an addition, an additional piece of knowledge or
Mm.
experience that I have. So I am considering it, and
Mm.
yes, I will work with students as well. As of now, my audience is working
Mm.
professionals because of
Mm.
the story that I narrated and the relatability that I have with working professionals and the
Correct.
grind that they go through.
Mm.
So my main focus is on basically adults who are working
Mm.
professionals.
Nice.
But yes, if students, if principals feel that
Mm.
students require this kind of self empowerment or
Mm.
that trusting, and most of the fears are all imaginary and self
Mm.
made. So it's just a matter of
Mm.
understanding. Awareness is the first step.
Right.
So once you're aware and you're ready to get out of it, wow,
Mm.
your work is done.
Mm. Nice.
So
So,
yeah.
Deirdre, walk us through what, like, especially now when you talk about like 5 years, 5 years post COVID, coaching, sort of defining what coaching is, systems, marketing. Yes, AI is also more and more becoming a part of it. But I'd love to hear your perspective on this. Like you've seen, in COVID and post COVID, and now, it's been a 5 year journey. So, what are some of the things that you have noticed? And of course, what's your take on the journey that you sort of where you stepped into the role of a coach, right? Because before it was employee, then it was sort of teacher, facilitator in that sense. Um, but now in what you're doing, like what's your take on it, and how's the journey been so far?
Um, I love that question. I haven't actually. We wear multiple hats
Correct.
during our our journey.
Mm,
When it comes to, since I handle my own journey myself and I
mm,
handle my own business myself,
mm,
I wear different hats at
mm,
different points in the day. Right now, I am speaking as a coach,
mm,
and I love what I do as a
mm,
coach.
mm,
Yes, probably to get people into my community is a little bit of a task for me,
mm,
and I'm I'm not afraid of sharing that because I do a good job when it comes to coaching
mm.
and helping people get
Correct.
out of the mess that they are in when it comes to
Correct.
communication and all these kind of aspects,
Mm,
the aspects that I'm good at, right? But when it comes to aspects like getting the, what do you say, sales, or
mm,
reaching out to people when it
mm,
comes to different, like, people misunderstand communication for English,
mm,
and most of the times I get students, they come to me and say, I need coaching in English. You're an English teacher. I said, yes, but right now, so uh, something that I'd like to share. English is just a medium
mm,
of communication. You can communicate in any language
mm,
that you wish to or that you are familiar with.
mm,
The only point being, English is used in most of the offices when it
mm.
comes to meetings, and
Correct.
it's the medium of communication.
Correct.
So people often think that, okay, I don't know English, so probably I'm a bad
Mm,
communicator. Well, that's
mm,
not the truth. You can apply the same concepts to any
mm.
language.
Correct.
So there are different organizations which may
Mm,
not have English as their only used language. It can be Hindi or any state, any country. It depends on it. So the aspects of communication can be applied to
mm,
whichever language. So basically, language is just the medium through which you communicate. So this is something I want to specify because people, they get confused. And yes, I
mm,
do offer a small chunk of it, like a pre-recorded course for only
mm,
English,
mm.
because I understand that people do have a problem with,
Correct.
they think that communication is only in English. So yes, I do help
Mm,
my team members, and I do grammar classes and stuff, but
mm,
that's all a part of the journey. Like,
mm,
if they do make a mistake, never will any of the other students or me laugh at them, because we're all on a learning journey.
Correct.
We're all lifelong learners. I
Correct.
always, put myself into situations where I keep learning and I keep learning and I keep
Mm.
evolving. So I'm sure you also do that, right, Rahul?
Mm-hmm.
You also keep
Yeah.
learning, you keep,
100%.
introducing new elements.
Mm.
Every day we have to get 1% better
Mm.
than yesterday.
True.
So that's when we get
Mm-hmm.
365%, that much percent or that many degrees
Mm.
better each day. So when it comes to when COVID hit, many, in fact, my husband lost his job and I was at
Mm.
home that time. I wasn't really working in an organization as such. I used to take IELTS, so I was very much, at home doing it online,
Mm.
and it hit us really badly that time.
Mm.
And it didn't strike me that I can, actually take this up as a business offer. And yes, I used to get a lot of advertisements about, of course, Siddharth and
Mm.
a lot of other coaches who are really big right now. But I think there was some element of how, those kind
Mm.
of things, which
Correct.
I finally worked my way through. And
Mm.
just since last year, I have got onto this journey. And yes, I'm, you can say, in that crawling or,
Mm.
just able to walk kind of a phase. A baby just
Right.
doesn't come out of a mother's womb and start running. So it is a beautiful
Mm.
journey that I am enjoying, and I'm learning by doing. So I'm loving what I'm doing. So
Beautiful.
yes, when it comes to 2020, I was doing a different,
Mm.
thing. I was in my own element
Correct.
at that time, and
Correct.
now I am very fixed on this journey, and I'm actually
Mm.
investing a lot of my time and reading up a lot, and
Mm.
getting help, of course, from different
Mm.
mentors also at this
Mm.
point in time, and collaborating with and looking to
Mm.
collaborate with people so that
Nice.
here I can reach out to more people actually.
Mm.
So thank you again, once again, for inviting me on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
So two questions here. You sort of brought up a very important point. Um, when we talk about marketing, especially because for a lot of people, either especially in today's sort of when you look at training or when you look at coaching specifically today, a lot of people have either been doing it for a very long time, but they were doing it without thinking they would be doing it professionally, right? Or
Absolutely.
people have maybe joined the course and they sort of were very inspired and they decided that, okay, you know what, like my mentor, even I want to do this, right? These are typically the two routes that you'll see. So someone
Absolutely.
has either taken up a course in yoga or breath work or something, and then that inspires them to emulate what they saw their teacher do. Or someone has been practicing, say, yoga or breath work for maybe the last 15, 20 years without really thinking that, oh, there's a career in this, right?
Possibility, yes.
Possibilities are there. But post COVID, a lot of that realization
Yes.
has sort of
Yes.
come to fruition, so to speak.
Yes.
So while that is happening, I'm curious to know, like, how has your journey been? And when you talk about mindset, especially with marketing, like you were talking about, basically generating leads. These are like the two. If I look at it after having been in this space for quite a while, like these are the two main areas. One is mindset, and two is leads. Right? If you're able to crack these two, then everything else is just everything else is a journey, right? So, what are some of the reflections that you would love to share now? Let's say maybe a year into this, and I'm sure it's not just a year. Like maybe in a more formal sense, it's been a year. But if you sort of
Yes.
combine all of it together and you say, okay, yeah, mindset and leads, like what are some of your reflections that you'd love to share here?
These are the two, and of course, sales. These
Mm,
three things were
mm,
something I used to go in the opposite direction.
mm,
And
correct.
I tried to work my way around it, but it's like the
Mm,
circle of life, right?
mm,
You need one to survive. I needed all those three to move ahead. And yes, I decided to go organic. And
mm,
I'm proud to say that today I've completed 92 days of posting on LinkedIn every
nice.
single day,
Mm, nice.
inspiring people. And earlier, I used to not get comments, I used to not get engagement, but now I
Mm,
have engagement. I have I'm so happy that the comments that I get are they really touch my heart, and I
Mm,
feel so fulfilled. Money in the bank will happen, but
mm,
my basic intention,
mm,
is to help people. It's to
correct.
help people realize that
Mm,
the doubts that they have is they are the reason,
mm,
and they themselves are the solution.
mm,
So if they just work on themselves, see, you can't tell another person, what you did is wrong and you have to correct yourself.
mm,
You are not responsible, or you cannot order people around if they
mm,
don't take it well.
mm,
So you have to think, what can you do best? So I decided that, okay, if I am not good at something, instead of running away from it,
mm,
let me embrace it. And then I went into uh, you know taking a mentor who can help me in the areas that I'm not strong. See, everyone, all
mm,
five fingers are not the same, right?
mm,
Every finger has its own work, its own purpose to
mm,
grab a bottle. If one finger says, no, I don't want to do the job, then basically the grip will not be as strong.
mm,
So, with that being said, I realized that, okay, there are certain strengths and certain things that I need to work on, and
mm,
everyone has those strengths and areas of improvement. I don't really
mm,
call them weaknesses; I call
mm,
them areas of improvement. So,
mm,
I started focusing on my areas of improvement, and I'm trying to build a strong base in that.
mm,
And yes, I am getting a couple of leads from Facebook as well as LinkedIn,
mm,
and I'm working on that. In fact, the principal who approached me for for the college and the school communication skills, she came through FB, through
mm.
Facebook, and
Nice.
I really thank God for
Mm,
uh, a single comment, a single what I have learned through this entire journey.
mm,
I think we need to thank God for be grateful. Basically, being
mm.
grateful has blessed me with more, if not less. So,
Right.
of course, there are good days and there are bad days.
Mm,
So, being human, life takes over.
mm,
And yes, I did have a little, the low patch, the valley in my life where I felt really
mm.
sick and I had to, actually be hospitalized. And
Oh.
it was a tough time. I think all of us, life takes
Mm,
over. And but that was a time where I reflected, and I decided that yes, if I have been given the second opportunity to live, I think I should make it count.
mm,
And that was when I started working on myself, and that's what made me who I am and what I do
mm.
today. So I look at life, the brighter side of life. Yes, there will be dark sides,
Sure.
but it's just a matter of switching on that
Mm,
switch and letting the light shine on you.
mm,
So, with that being said, yes, lead generation is happening right now organically, and
mm.
eventually I will go into paid ads. So,
Right.
yes,
Beautiful.
I'm I'm going into this journey of
Mm,
putting one post every day. So now I'm going to go into putting videos every day. So
mm.
yes, I'm
Nice.
working on myself, and
Nice.
life is beautiful. That's all I can
Mm.
say.
Beautiful. So, as we get to the next segment, this is a very, very
Mhm.
powerful segment, which,
Okay.
it every time I see like a really deep response from guests, and so this is of course what we call the journey of mentors. So
Oh wow.
do share with us. You mentioned one of your mentors, in the
Yes,
early
my
days.
school class teacher. Yes.
Exactly. Right. But as you look at it now, on this journey of stepping into being the coach, and building your business, and it doesn't have to be only this phase, it could be even earlier. But if you look at in your life, if I was to say, Deirdre, like, who are these mentors who showed up at just the right time, and what was that like? So this is like an opportunity to express your
Yes.
gratitude, like you did
Grateful.
earlier
Yes.
today,
Yes.
uh,
Absolutely.
with your bio teacher, but your class teacher.
Yes.
So share with us, like, what was happening at that time, and who were these people, and do mention them by name, because one other reason
Yes.
why we do this pod is, sometimes when people hear you mention somebody, it can help validate their own process, um, in a positive way, that if they were looking for that, maybe this is also sort of one more reason why they're like, you know what, yeah, I was anyway considering it, and now having heard Deirdre mention so and so, I'm like, you know what, let me explore, and maybe this could make that difference that I'm looking for in my life. So
Well, there are kept couple of people that have made me who I am.
mm,
I'll try to keep it as short as possible.
sure.
So the first person, yes, of course, my parents, for helping me grow and trusting me.
Mm,
Of course, parents and God, and my teacher Jatana
mm,
Miss, who is the most loved, and
mm,
I get a little emotional when I think about her, because if it wasn't for her, I think I
mm,
would not be on this journey. And she trusted me with something that
mm,
I didn't trust myself on, and she believed in me.
mm,
And so yes, a big shout out to Jatana Miss. And
mm.
wherever you are, if you do hear this, please hug yourself. And if you were in front of me, I would definitely love to hug you myself. And may
Mm,
God bless you with good health. And once I went to college, there was this teacher. I did my food science actually in
mm,
during graduation. So I am a nutrition student by uh, you know by my studies and
mm,
my academics.
mm,
Um, so there were these teachers who actually challenged us a lot,
mm,
and they helped us go out of our comfort zone.
mm,
So I think I owe a lot to most of them. Uh, there was one teacher who lived in Bhayandar itself,
mm,
and I mean, I live in Nivada, but she lives in Bhayandar, and her name is Sunita Miss, and she is she told me, that you take this path. Why are you taking this path? And I was so fascinated with the path that I had taken. She told me
mm,
to take textiles, and I took nutrition.
mm.
She was like, you're really good at textiles. Why don't you take textiles? But I said no. My friends are all in nutrition, so that's the age, right, when you're a
Correct.
teenager
Correct.
and you feel that, oh, your friends, you can't let go of your friends. That's what
Mm,
you think at that point in time. So yeah, so I think that's one learning that I had from her. Unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to her at that time, but I love her. And after college, the other people who I really respect and who really taught me to face challenges as they come is a
mm,
dear friend of mine by the name of Dilip Singh. He helped me come out of the sickness and the depression that I was going through during the turning point during COVID. Actually, I
mm,
didn't get COVID, but I was going through a little rough patch when it comes to hospitalization and stuff like that. So I was hospitalized for around 15 days, and the doctors couldn't figure out what's wrong with me.
mm,
So I went through a series. So I was an official guinea pig for them. So I went through a series of tests, and the doctor was wondering how I'm alive.
mm. Wow.
So I'm like, well, I'm in front of you, flesh and blood.
Mm, mm,
So they eventually found out the problem, and I went through a lot of depression because of that. And Dilip Singh, I don't know whether I should call him a mentor, but he was um, a person who stood by me,
mm,
and I think uh, he mentored me again
mm,
into, yes, you have got a new life.
mm,
The doctors were wondering how you're alive, but you are,
mm,
and make it count.
mm.
It's just the three,
Right.
four words that he said. Make it
Mm,
count. Literally three words. And then after I recovered, I actually went back to the IELTS and all that stuff, because I had taken a
mm.
break during that time. It was
Right.
9 to 10 months were difficult. So getting back to taking IELTS again was also a tough one, because I had disappeared from
Mm,
that forum. So getting back was difficult. That's when I decided that I should, take up teaching and stuff. So I did
mm,
a teacher's course, and then I worked as a teacher. And there also there were a couple of people who would support me. There are my friends who were there who always told me that, you know what, I used to ask them, am I stepping out of line, because the authorities would not
mm,
appreciate me being so bold. And they were like, no, this is who you are.
mm,
Don't ever change yourself. We need few more people like you. And I don't know again whether I should call them my mentors, but yes, they did help me to
mm,
uh, sort of validate myself.
right.
I didn't need validation, but it just
Mm,
helped me, that
mm,
yes, you're doing the right thing,
right.
that encouragement.
Mm,
So these are the few people, and of course, when I decided to actually take up online coaching, uh, when the student is ready, the guru appears. So
mm,
that's when I seen a class offered by Siddharth Rajshekhar, and
mm,
I aligned with him immediately. I paid for a silver membership, and then when just last year I became his diamond member,
mm,
and I somehow, he is more than he's such a beautiful human being.
mm,
He's so approachable and down to earth, and I have learned how to be grounded from
mm,
him and how to keep evolving. Like he keeps every few
mm,
months, every hackathon, he keeps improving. So
mm,
this is something I need to work on. So I am in the process of trying to get better
mm,
with each and every course that I offer. I try to polish, add
mm,
value, because at the end of the day, I want to offer the best value. Like if they've
mm,
paid me X amount of money, I
right.
want to offer them 2x, 3x,
Mm,
4x value. That's when I feel satisfied.
correct.
They will feel satisfied, but I have to first feel satisfied with it.
Mm,
So this is to all my mentors and all the people who have helped me on my journey, the
mm,
path, and of course to you as well, since we have crossed paths in a very beautiful way,
yeah.
to a beautiful collaboration if it happens in the future, and
Mm,
to all your team members and your community. And
mm,
yes, you did mention about community, so yes, I would love to build a community. I'm in that process. I have
mm,
a WhatsApp group where I nurture them and I take care of
right.
them and I solve their
Mm,
questions and their doubts.
mm,
So yes, building a community is something I'm looking forward to, because every individual is unique.
mm,
So even though there are probably hundreds of communication coaches out there, uh, God has chosen us to be have our unique flavor, and the flavor that I have, I think the other communication
mm,
coaches may not have the same thing. Of course,
mm,
I'm not saying that I'm the best, but I have my own path to walk,
mm.
and if those who align with my path, welcome aboard.
Nice, nice.
So, oh
That's
yes, and I
beautiful.
forgot to mention, I
Mm,
also worked in Jet Airways. I don't know how
mm,
many of you know Jet Airways. So yes, I have worked there for 8 years of my life, and that's where I met the love of my life. And
okay,
yes, we both
beautiful.
were a part of Jet Airways.
Okay.
He's still in the aviation industry. In fact,
Mm,
he was there when Jet Airways shut down
mm,
before COVID, and that was a real rough patch for him.
yeah.
9 months he was jobless, and I was also
Mm,
doing online classes. So yeah,
right.
that was a real rough
Wow.
patch. So I especially want to mention the in-flight department that I was
Mm,
the uh, the training in-flight training department. Special shout out to Sandra Flees, who helped
mm,
me and she pushed me, and she used to tell me that yes, you can do more. Why aren't you doing more? And I used to say,
mm,
oh, she's just abusing my work culture. But no, she did push me to do more, and she had empowered me with you know the batch that came when I joined. She told me, go and give them a briefing. I'm like, what? So
mm,
she's like, yeah, I trust you. You'll do a good job. Go and give them a briefing. Tell them about the company's policies. So I walked in. I took it up as a challenge because I am very experimental in nature and I love challenges. So I took it up, and I walked into the room and they're all staring at me like, who is
mm,
this alien?
mm,
So I walked in, and that batch, when I left Jet Airways, they were all over the place
mm,
because I spent a lot of time. They got in touch with each other. They came to know I had resigned. So when I was on this 1 month probation, I mean, 1 month notice period, they came together and they sent me a beautiful pearl necklace.
Wow.
And yes, that was batch 234 in Jet Airways, the training batch. And
Mm.
I love them so much.
Mm.
See, for me, it was my first batch that I actually did a briefing with.
Right.
But for them, I think
Mm.
I must have done something right. And I mean, it really touched my heart when
Mm.
I received that authentic pearl set
Mm.
through Santa Fe's from them. And I am really grateful to have impacted a few
Mm.
lives during the journey, even though when I was not a coach, I wasn't a coach then. But
Correct.
I think impacting lives is
Mm. Yeah.
something that I'm supposed to be doing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful.
So I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot to
No,
mention
no.
Sandra
No.
Fees and
Yeah.
Zenos Sarkar. He was
Mm.
my boss.
Mm.
So yes, he was also a beautiful, a really loving person whom
Mm.
I learned a lot from. I learned a lot of grooming. I learned a lot of etiquettes, a lot
Mm.
of discipline, a lot of how do you present a particular point.
Mm.
He gave me that polished thinness which was lacking at that point in time.
Mm.
And how do you answer a phone call, the telephone etiquettes, and
Mm.
body language. I learned a lot from there.
Mm.
So it's the cumulative energy that
Right.
and the experience of all these things that I put forth for my
Mm.
students. So yes,
Amazing.
I'm sorry I forgot to mention them, but I did remember. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to appreciate their.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't again call them as mentors, but yes, they did impact my life and they
Mm.
made me the whole that I am today.
Correct. Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah. Students also can unknowingly,
yes, yes.
trigger
There is
that.
no shame in learning
Yeah.
from people who are half your age or
Mm.
younger than you, or even my
Mm.
kids. They teach me a lot. They teach me
Mm.
technology,
Mm.
something that I am. Oh yes, mommy, you can edit the video. So my younger son, I have two sons, and my younger son wants to become a photographer. He
Mm.
does my videos, my
Nice.
editing. So I have an in-house.
Nice.
So he feels, I told him, I said, if you do this many videos, I'll pay you this much. So he's very excited. So he's doing
Right.
commerce and
Nice.
he's very excited. So he's a proper
Mm.
businessman, and I'm sure I have
Mm.
to learn a lot from him. So there's no shame in learning from your kids.
Yeah.
I love learning from them.
Mm.
So yes, I'm a proud mother.
Mm.
When I learn from my kids, it gives me immense joy.
Right.
So yes, they are
Beautiful.
also teaching me, so they are also my mentors in one way
Yeah.
or the other.
True. True. Thank you so
So
much
yes,
for sharing your stories. And I see quite often towards the end, it's like the process has kind of brought out those even more powerful stories, and not just
yes,
your stories, but these are designed to remind other people,
yes,
people in their
absolutely,
lives, people who have created an impact, people who have inspired them, and to remember them, right? So
yes,
thank you
yes.
for sharing with such
Yes.
an open
Thank you
heart.
so much.
And
Thank you so much for tickling that area in my life where I had not, that. See, we think of triggers as negative
mm,
forces, but this is a
mm.
beautiful trigger to have because I'm sure I'll have a beautiful day today just thinking and thanking God for all the people that He has, the good and the bad. See,
Mm,
I have nothing against the people who have harmed me because I have
mm,
evolved from that.
mm,
And probably if I'd have had, see, I always look at life like this. Life is not a bed of roses.
mm,
Uh, to reach the rose, you have to climb up that
mhm,
stalk which has thorns, and you need to bleed along the way to reach
mm,
that rose because the rose is your goal in life,
mm, mm,
and those thorns are the obstacles.
mm,
So you need to go walk that path
mm,
to reach your goal.
mm.
So if you say, no, 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 I don't want those thorns, then well,
Mm.
the goal is far from reachable.
Right.
So you have to maneuver your way
Mm,
or your own path to your final goal, and that's when you feel so beautiful.
mm.
You feel so aligned, and that's worth all the effort.
Yeah.
So, yes, I know getting leads, doing the hard work, it looks beautiful. It is difficult. It's not
Mm,
easy, but it's not impossible too.
mm.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Wow. That's such a beautiful note to reflect on, and also to
Yes.
thank you, Deirdre, for spending your time here today, and telling us more about your life and reflections. And I'm sure, for people who have heard your story now, they will have a even deeper connection with you. And that's one of the reasons why this pod exists, right? So
Thank you
the
so
intent
much.
is
Thank
that
you
as
so much,
people
Alex.
look out for you, this becomes a resource for them to connect with you, to build that, today we call it parasocial relationships. So it's like they get to know you even before you get to know them, right? We've all done it. It's like when we
Yes.
find somebody that we are inspired by, say online, then we try to consume as much as we can of that person, and we sort of like build a bond with them. So this is
Yes.
one of the reasons why this pod exists, so that people get to know you. And of course, I've been very fortunate to have been in this space now for more than 2 decades, and I know, especially now more than ever before, the time has come for more people to seek, to seek help, to reach out, and therefore, when people like us do already exist, through our
Yes.
own journeys, we've reached this point. The intent is that when people, get to see these interviews, they get to hear about you, they are also inspired. Of course, coaches, healers will be inspired further because they're like, okay, if Dedra's had this experience, then I'm okay, right? Like everything will work
Absolutely.
out one way or
Yes.
the other,
Yes.
but eventually it
Absolutely.
will, right? So thank you
Yes.
once again, Dedra, for taking your
Thank you
time
so much, Rahul.
and taking the time. And you're most welcome. And of course,
I
to
enjoyed the journey. I mean, this 1 hour, I didn't even realize it's almost an hour, I guess. And it's been a beautiful, actually, I went inward,
mm,
and I think it's what I teach. When you open the door,
mm,
you create two images. One
mm,
is a visual image, and one is
mm,
a vocal image. This is what
mm,
I walk my students through.
mm,
And today I feel you are helping me to pass on my
mm.
image, vocal and visual, before I even enter people's
That's
lives.
right.
So thank you so much that through
Most
this
welcome.
podcast,
Yeah.
you are giving me a lot of visibility. And yes, I speak from my heart, and I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So this is all through my experience and all what I have.
mm,
Not really spoken of about much, but thank you for having these beautiful positive triggers,
mm.
and your questions were mind blowing, I must say.
Thank
And
you.
appreciate your questions. I think it's a win. I loved the interview. Thank you for taking
Thank
me
you.
through this, these in this inward journey.
Mm.
And like I said, I will definitely have a blissful day today. I feel so blessed and honored to be on such a platform, and more
Thank you.
power to you
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Dedra.
and to your entire community as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
So, hope we
Thank you.
cross paths again for
Most
sure.
definitely will. And just a quick reminder, of course, to those of you who've
Yes,
been listening to Deirdre and watching her walk you through her life story. This is, of course, your opportunity to connect with her. The links are included, below this video. So definitely follow her on all her handles, and I'm sure in the days to come you'll get to know more about. And she also talked about different programs that she has, so do reach out to her for all of that, and newer programs in the future as well, right?
yes,
And
positive.
and of course,
Yes,
to each of you that's been out there, listening, um, these pods are created for you. These pods are created in service of you, so that you can, especially if you're a healer and a coach, this is a reminder to you that you are special. Your journey is, of course, your journey, but it's a journey. So as long as you keep showing up, you will eventually get to where you're meant to, right? So having said all of that, of course, as always, remember to live your purpose. God bless, and of course, we'll be back with more videos, more interviews in the coming days. So, Deirdre, if you can
yes,
just hang back for a second, I'll end
yes,
our the live
yes,
and
sure.
the
See
end
you
the
guys.
stream
You all
there.
are
Yes,
awesome and keep doing this beautiful work. Bye for now.
nice,
Take care.
awesome. Okay, so that ends our